Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we're actually talking about the writers' strike because the Writers Guild of America is going on strike. And basically what I'm saying is here, who needs the Writers Guild when we have AI? Now, I'm going to be very clear here because there are going to be some people that see the title of this video or podcast and think, oh my God, Nick, absolutely not. The writers are beyond essential, blah, blah, blah. I want to make it perfectly clear. I am not saying artificial intelligence is going to replace or should replace the Writers Guild. Writing is a very special skill. I think AI should basically have a focus of taking and automating a lot of those tasks that we don't need so that we as humans can actually create things. And so for the record, I do hope that the Writers Guild and the respective management side of this do find a good compromise to their contract negotiations. And one of those things that the Writers Guild is concerned about is artificial intelligence. I don't have notes on this one. I'm just doing this one off the cuff here. And I think it's important to understand that one of the core things that the management side is going to see is like, well, if we've got the chat GPTs of the world that can create content or sneak it in, then why on earth would we even be paying writers in the first place? And I think that's, one, a very bad premise to start from, but two, is actually a concern of the Writers Guild. We have seen what LLMs or large language models have been able to do. There are some local newspapers that are using artificial intelligence created stories already to report on the local Little League baseball game or local government reporting and all those kinds of things. So we're already starting to see this, but where this is really going to come to fruition and where I think, and this is what I'm driving at, is the stance of, well, we don't need the writers, we've got AI, is when management says, look, we've got deadlines coming up for the fall season. If this strike continues on and we don't have shows in the can, we're going to have to look elsewhere. And there you go. And so we might see this sneak in. There might be lawsuits as a result of this. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. But I think this is going to be one of those big challenges as we are looking at potentially displacing in some way, shape, or form 300 million jobs around the world, according to Goldman Sachs. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Writers may be those ones on the chopping block. Now, full disclosure, I write articles regularly. If you're a regular follower of mine, you know I write for Forbes and Smerconish of CNN and SiriusXM and some other publications as well. But I'm not part of the Writers Guild. I'm also not writing for entertainment, meaning the Daily Tonight Show with Colbert or Kimmel or any one of those guys that are now going to have very serious issues because they write day to day as opposed to we're going to shoot 20 episodes or whatever like now and then play it in the fall. We're coming up to those deadlines, and so these entertainment writers basically are being put in a very precarious position. They need to have obviously fair compensation for what they're doing. I think that's a very fair thing. Collective bargaining, historically has been a very good thing. Labor unions have as well overall. And so I think this is going to be one of those challenges. But with artificial intelligence coming, these are things we actually have to reconcile. And when we see strikes by collective bargaining outfits like labor unions or guilds, this now has to be a consideration. And it's not just the writers, it's construction. What if I can get robots to drywall the building? Then will the drywallers union, and I don't know if they have a union, but if they had a union, are the drywallers union, going to take exception to that? And how do you make sure that union labor is employed? This is one of the problems that we're going to have in the future. We're not stopping having babies. The population keeps growing. And if jobs are taken away, that's a huge thing. And so coming at this from the premise of artificial intelligence should be there to remove, let's say, the needless, tedious tasks. Let it do my taxes so I don't have to deal with it. We just went through taxes. If I could have Chat GPT understand my income and expenses and all that and do my tax returns for me, that would be absolutely fantastic, providing it could do it privately. It's not sharing with advertisers and all of that. And so that's what it should be. It should give me more time to create, more time to basically express myself as a human, just like writers are needing that time as well. But I think this is one to watch, and it's one to watch primarily because of the Chat GPTs and the other AIs that are its competitors out there, because we are changing the game, and what we are seeing as a result of this potential strike may have repercussions in the future for other potential strikes, other potential labor disputes, and other potential developments in artificial intelligence to assume jobs because, when they find out, my God, we can pay $20 a month to have Chat GPT do this and it does it nonstop and we don't have to pay it for vacation time and anything else. Why on earth were we ever using humans before? That is a very serious concern. So there you go. I'm very curious to see the hate mail that I get or the hate messages or whatever it is based off of the title of this, which was kind of intentional because, again, I want people thinking along those lines because why wouldn't management think like that? Why not? And so there you go. That is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.